Hey guys, welcome to this little peek into what I eat in a day. At the moment, my meals have been focusing on getting lots of protein, fiber, and a good mix of plants just to keep things interesting and gut friendly. I'm also really trying to slow down while I eat, be intentional, and also support my digestion with some good healthy movement and slowing down in general. For breakfast, I had this big, delicious bowl of oatmeal, so started off with some oats, a mix of chia and flax seeds to go in there, chopped Brazil and walnuts, some almond butter, a banana of course, and then my favorite sweetener is maple syrup. Now, I started on this gut health journey because I was having really bad digestive issues for a number of reasons, but one of the things I read in my research was to increase the diversity of plants and fiber in your diet. Essentially, plants are packed with fiber, which is basically the food for the good bacteria that live in your digestive system. And the more diverse the plants, the more you're feeding a wider variety of the helpful microbes in your gut. Don't we love a little bit of science? I've also realized it's not too difficult to increase the diversity of plants in my diet. For example, this breakfast alone has 8 different unique sources of fiber and didn't really require massive prep or planning. Of course, I knew that I was filming my meals on this day, so I did try to make them extra presentable, but I really do try to plate my meals nicely, as I just think it helps you be a bit more present with your food. They do say that we eat with our eyes first, and I also do think that spending the time to make a meal delicious but also beautiful is in some ways a bit of a gratitude practice for the food, of course, but also for yourself, for taking the time to make something that's yummy and good for you. Okay, coffee. Now, I used to be a barista and I am obsessed with coffee. I have it every morning. I like to add a little bit of collagen into mine, and occasionally I'll also do some milk. Okay, so let's talk coffee and gut health. So obviously I love my coffee. It's a huge part of my morning, but for some people it can definitely be a little bit harsh on the gut, especially if you are dealing with bloating or just have a bit of a sensitive digestive system. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach, though, definitely is a bit harsher on your stomach, so I'd always recommend having it after your breakfast. For lunch, I made an egg-fried kimchi quinoa bowl with extra veggies. This was a great leftovers meal, very much throw everything together that you have in the fridge vibes. So for this, I had some pre-cooked quinoa, eggs, some curly kale, some oven-roasted cherry tomatoes, carrots, and a cucumber for extra crunch. I started off by sauteing the kale in the pan, got it a little bit limp, and then added the quinoa and basically all the other ingredients. So next came the kimchi, stirred that in, make sure it was nice and warm, and then cracked the eggs in. I was super obsessed with the color of these egg yolks. They say that the color of the yolk is reflective of the hen's diet, and you could see these two had very different colors, so I thought that was super interesting. And then I may have forgotten about this lunch and let it burn to the bottom of the pan, but that's okay, we kept it moving. Gorgeous here, I had some chopped veggies on the side. And then just like breakfast, I really was taking a moment with my lunch, enjoying my vegetables, taking some deep belly breaths while I contemplated my lunch and work of the day. When I started learning more about gut health and good digestion, basically I was dealing with severe bloating. I was waking up feeling like shit. I felt like everything I ate was giving me some kind of digestive reaction. And so I went down this rabbit hole of educating myself on gut health, things like that. I don't feel like I know everything, but I have learned a lot. One thing I've read a lot about is being mindful with your food, and so not eating with distractions. Just a girl trying to be present with her egg fried kimchi quinoa. So, also, one thing they say, is to chew more, chew slow, chew your food. No, but again, with aiding in digestion, slow down, chew your bites properly. Don't try to rush through your meal. I don't know, seems to be working. Another thing I've learned a lot about recently is how much the nervous system plays into literally everything, but especially digestion and hormone balance. And it's kind of wild because I used to think all I needed to do was just eat properly or maybe improve my sleep just a little bit, but was totally overriding how I felt day to day. Like I was just running between each task, each job, felt super dysregulated all the time. And I did not realize how much that was really affecting my overall health, but also my gut health specifically. So I have been trying to carve out some intentional time throughout the day, whether that's taking a bath or doing some form of really grounded movement. Another perk of taking a bath is the fact that both the showers in my flat are broken, so actually it's my only way of getting clean. It has been super hot in London this summer so far, and one of the perks of that means I am always in the mood for salads. So for dinner, I did this big salad, lots of veggies once again, and also repurposed some of that quinoa I had used at lunchtime. So I got started with a big bowl of greens, of course that cooled cooked quinoa, more cherry tomatoes, and then I made a little bit of a tuna salad. So started with some canned tuna. I have some hummus here as well, more cucumber, an apple. Gotta add an apple to your salads. And couldn't help but get a shot of this spread because it was gorgeous. I do think one of the keys to eating healthy and making it easy is to reuse the same ingredients between different meals. So while I do have a wide variety of plants in my meals, I'm using some of the same stuff between each one. So you're gonna see cucumbers, carrots, greens between different meals, and that makes doing your grocery shop a lot more straightforward as well. Another hack is to also make double or triple portions for whatever you're making. Now, if you live on your own or only cook for yourself, maybe you're already doing this, but it took me a while to kind of get into the habit of making sure I'm making huge portions each time and then saving some for later. That makes it way easier if I want to pack a lunch for work or just want to be a little bit lazy and not cook something one night. I've got something all prepared ahead of time. As you could probably tell from the kimchi at lunch, I'm a big fan of fermented foods. So for this salad, I topped it off with a big heaping spoon of sauerkraut. Fermented foods are great for the gut as well because they're full of probiotics, which are those helpful bacteria that help keep your gut microbiome in check. And this is just my personal taste as well, but I really love the salty and tangy flavor of fermented foods, so I usually incorporate a little into at least one meal per day. If you're not putting fruit in your tuna salad, you're missing out. Honestly, fruit in salad, game changer. Apples, oranges, berries. If you know me, you know I love a sweet treat. So for dessert, I made these peanut butter stuffed dates with dark chocolate. Just remove the pit of a date, fill it with peanut butter, put some chocolate in there, you're good to go. In the evenings, I've been pretty devoted to a yin yoga practice, trying to incorporate lots of leg elevations, hip openers, spinal twists, not only to aid in my digestion, but also to really slow down so that I can improve the quality of my sleep. I've noticed nothing but good from ending the day by dropping back into my body and my breath. So if you're somebody who struggles to stay asleep, I would highly recommend this. I'm gonna sign it off here from this hella relaxed child's pose, but thank you so much for watching, and I hope you've maybe taken some inspiration or learned something new, and I will see you in the next one.